Hi there, welcome to YogaPad and welcome to your 45-minute sequence for the month. This month we're going to be working with the Ashtanga sequence. Traditionally the Ashtanga sequence is about 1.5 to 2 hours long, which is beautiful, but I'm going to bring it down to about 45 minutes, which is more achievable for a lot of us. So the Ashtanga sequence follows a set series of postures linked together with a beautiful breath called Ujjayi Pranayama, and we also use some body locks and as well as dristi, which is a focus point. So working this way, we certainly physically move the body, but having the rhythmic breath, the bandhas, the little locks in the body, as well as the focus point, just clicks in a little meditative quality. So over time, you can just move and breathe, and it's actually quite beautiful. So we are going to start with the traditional Ashtanga invocation. If you traditionally don't use props in Ashtanga Yoga, however, if you know you like to do seated forward bends sitting on a blanket, or if you'd like to have a brick when you do some of the standing postures, then have those little things available to you. So let's start. Come to the front of the mat and bring the feet together. Take the hands to the heart. So I've given you a printout of this invocation if you want to read along. Otherwise, just enjoy and listen. Close the eyes, taking a nice breath in. Om Vande Gurunam Charanaravindeya Sandarshita Shvatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangali Kayamane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalem. So just linger with the sound, hands at the heart. Starting to bring your attention to your breath. Starting to lengthen out each inhalation, each exhalation. And start to cultivate the Ujjayi Pranayama, so a little contraction at the top of the throat as you breathe in and as you breathe out, creating a little light whispering sound as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Keep that breath going. Just bring the hands down to the sides. Just lightly open the eyes, taking the gaze just forward and slightly down, very soft behind the eyes. With the breathing, start to introduce Uddiyana Bandha, so a gentle contraction of the belly back towards the spine and slightly up. And Mula Bandha, the muscles of the pelvic floor, so very gently lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor together with the lower belly, together with a nice long, even flow of breath in and over the top of the throat, a little contraction, creating sound. So keep all that in place now for our sun salutations. 3 rounds of sun salutation A. Breathe in. And breathe out. Hands down to the floor, looking into the knees. Inhale, stretch the chest forward. Exhale, step back to plank and lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. At the end of your fifth breath, coming high into the toes, looking forward, step or jump your feet towards your hands, look up as you breathe in, and exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up, and exhale, hands down to the sides. 2 more rounds just like that. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, step back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths. At the end of your fifth exhalation, come high into the toes, step or jump your feet towards your hands, breathe in, look up. Breathe out, fold forward. Inhale, hands circle up. Exhale, hands to the sides. Last one, sun salutation A, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sweep back. Down dog, 5 breaths. You can take your eye gaze towards your knees, your thighs, or traditionally up towards your belly button. The very end of your last exhalation, coming forward, jump or step towards your hands, breathe in, look up. Breathe out, fold forward. Inhale, circle the arms, look up. Exhale, hands down. Very nice. Surya Namaskar, sun salutation, B. Inhale, Utkatasana, look up. Exhale, slowly fold forward. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, step or jump back into plank, lower down. Inhale, chest comes forward. Exhale, hips back, down dog. Step the right foot forward, turn the left foot down, breathe in, sweep the hands up. Breathe out, hands down, foot back and lower down. Breathe in, chest forward, upward facing dog. Breathe out, hips up, step the left foot forward, turn the right foot down. New breath, inhale. And then exhale, hands down, step back, lower. Breathe in. And breathe out, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. So you can see that Surya Namaskar B is a little more physical. So use downward facing dog to recover the breath if you feel a little bit puffed. Looking to your knees or towards your belly. And at the end of your 5th breath, coming high into the toes, look forward, step or jump your feet towards your hands, look up. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, stretch up, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands down towards the hips. One more, just like that. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stretch the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, sweep the chest forward and up. Exhale, hips back, right foot forward, left foot down. New breath, inhale. And a long out breath, hands down, foot back, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips back, left foot forward, right foot turns down. Breathe in, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands down, step back and lower. New breath, inhale. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. At the end of your last exhalation, come high into the toes, look forward, step or jump. Lift the chest, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the hands up, look up towards your thumbs. And then exhale, stand up straight and bring the hands down to the sides. Very nice. So, nice way to warm the body up. Inhale the hands to prayer. And then exhale, take a little jump. So your feet are hip width apart, hands onto the waist. Inhale, stretch the chest, stretch the gaze up slightly. And then exhale, fold forward. Take 2 fingers around the big toes, like a little circular grip. Stretch the chest forward as you breathe in. And then exhale, folding forward towards your knees, taking your elbows out to the side and lifting your shoulders away from the ears, and breathe here. 5 long deep breaths. Inhale, come halfway up, hands onto the waist, and then exhale, push through the feet to come up, and a little jump back to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands into the heart, and then exhale, step the right leg across the mat so that you're about a leg's length along the mat. Inhale the arms up, turn the feet so that the right foot's facing the back of the mat, the left foot turns in 45 degrees, and then exhale, stretching over for Trikonasana, triangle pose, touching your leg, touching the floor, or traditionally taking 2 fingers around the big toe. Only take that option if you're not falling forward. If you are falling forward, take a higher stance here and breathing nice long deep breaths here, looking either directly forward or up towards your top thumb. After your next full inhalation, exhale, turn the gaze down to your bottom foot, push through the feet to come up, breathe in, and then exhale, turn the feet the other way, and then folding down to the other side, taking a leg, the floor, or the big toe. Breathing 5 long deep breaths here. After your next big inhalation, exhale the gaze down. Inhale, push through the feet to come up, bend the knees and jump or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands to the heart. And then exhale, stepping the feet wide, Pajvakonasana, side angle pose. Bend the right leg to a square. Inhale the arms out. And then exhale, elbow onto the knee, or if you've got a little bit more in you, you can take a brick or place the fingertips or palm onto the floor on the pinky toe side of the right foot. And breathe. 5 long deep breaths here. Last exhale, looking down. Inhale, push through the feet to come up. Turn the feet. And then exhale, over to the other side. Take your elbow, fingertips or palm onto the floor, stretching over, looking up to your elbow, or traditionally up towards the top fingers. After your next big inhalation, exhale, looking down, pushing through the feet to come up, and then exhale, bend the knees and jump or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands to the heart, and then exhale, stepping across the mat. Feet are this time parallel. You can line them up with the second toes, so they're parallel with the front and back of the mat. Hands onto the waist. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, folding forward, taking fingertips or palms onto the mat, ideally in line with the back of the heels. Inhale, stretch the chest forward. And then exhale, folding forward, keeping the elbows tracking above the wrists and underneath the shoulders. Lift the shoulders up away from the ears. On your next in-breath, coming halfway up, hands onto the waist, and then exhale, standing straight up. Inhale the arms out, and then exhale, take them behind you, interlace the fingers, stretch up as you breathe in, and then exhale, folding forward, and just sending your clasped hands overhead. Nice shoulder stretch, 5 breaths. Inhale, push through the feet to come all the way up. And then exhale, stretch the hands out, jump or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands into prayer. And then exhale, step across the mat, so a little bit shorter than a leg's length this time, and turn the feet. So the front foot's directly pointing to the back of the mat, and the left foot's turned in quite an angle such that your hips are pretty much square to the back wall. Hands, take them behind you with wrists, elbows, or if you can, scoot your hands up and find a reverse prayer, reverse namaskar onto the back there. Roll the shoulders back, stretch the elbows back. Inhale, lift the chin slightly, lift the gaze, and then exhale, fold forward, taking the right hip back behind you as you fold down. To come up, inhale, push evenly through both feet, and then exhale, turn around the other side. Keep the hands where they are. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze slightly, and exhale, fold forward. Left hip this time moves back as the rest of you moves forward and down. Inhale to come up, push through the feet, turn the feet, stretch the arms out, inhale, and exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. Very nice. And now we come to balance. I'm just going to turn myself around. So option here to inhale the right knee up, or if you can take 2 fingers around the big toes, stretch the spine, and then exhale, send the leg forward, so it can be a little bit bent or straight if you can, or holding the knee. So 5 nice long deep breaths there in your preferred option. After your next full inhalation, exhale, take this right leg out to the side. If you feel balanced, you can take your gaze over your left shoulder. Alternatively, you can be holding a knee or a bent leg. So whatever works for you. A couple more breaths. After your next full inhalation, exhale, turn the gaze back to the center, bring the knee or the foot back to center, and release the hand, point the foot. If your knee is bent, straighten it now. Doesn't matter if it's parallel or just a few inches off the floor. Keep the spine nice and straight. Use the belly, draw the lower belly in, and breathing. Last one, breathe in the foot up a tiny little inch, and then exhale, soften to the floor. Very nice. Inhale the left knee or the left foot, and then if you're straightening, take it to straight or towards straight. Breathing here. After your next big inhalation, exhale, take the knee or the leg, straight or bent leg out to the side, looking over your right shoulder if you feel balanced. Breathing, steady. Bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, a nice steady flow of breath up and down and over the top of the throat. After your next full in-breath, exhale, turn the gaze, bring the foot in, release the foot, straighten it if it was bent, point, keep the spine directly upright rather than tipping back. Breathe, smile, enjoy. Use this quad muscle here to really lift that leg up. One more big happy breath. Exhale, softly return that leg to the floor and give yourself a little bit of a shake out. That's always a bit of a challenging one, that one. Okay, so a little bit of a standing sequence before we come to do some seated forward bends. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, jump or step back, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, chest forward, upward facing dog. And then exhale, down dog. Coming up onto the toes, jump forward, stretch the chest forward. And then exhale, folding in. Utkatasana, so bring the bottom down towards the heels, bend the knees. Squeeze the knees together, sweep the upper arms by the ears. Lift the chest, lift the chin, lift the gaze towards the fingers and breathe. After your next full breath, in-breath, exhale, release very slowly. They don't call that fierce pose for nothing. Folding in. Inhale, stretch forward, and then exhale, step or jump, lower down. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, the right foot forward, left foot turns down. Sweep the hands up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, and breathe. Hands can be shoulder width or palms together. On your next in-breath, straightening the front leg, turning yourself all the way around, keep the hands in the air, and then exhale, lunging 90 degrees through the left leg. Adjust your feet just as you need to. Nice long deep breaths. On your next in-breath, coming up slightly, turning the hands, wriggling the back foot a little further out, transitioning into warrior two, slightly lower stance, arms parallel to the floor, looking out over your left fingertips and breathe. On your next inhalation, straighten the back leg, turn the feet and lunge down. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2 on the other side. After your next in-breath, exhale, taking that top hand around, circle it around and step back into downward dog. Inhale, high onto the toes, and we're going to jump forward just behind the wrists and cross our ankles. So a little hop and land, and softly bring the bottom to the floor. So if you like to work forward bends with a blanket under your hips, then grab that little blankie now. If you know you also need a strap when you're moving forward, you can grab a strap or whatever you use for that. And coming into Dandasana, so just rock side to side, pull the flesh of your bottom back and sort of out to the side. Place the fingertips or traditionally the palms onto the floor next to you, depending on how long your arms are, and stretch the front body up, roll the shoulders back, flex the feet, have the pinky toe flexing back just as much as the big toe, flare the toes out, energize the legs, take the chin slightly in, activating Jalandhara Bandha in the throat, nice strong rhythmic Ujjayi pranayama. So just focusing here, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor lifting, Uddiyana Bandha, drawing back towards the spine, slightly up. Keep that little sensation here in the belly. Inhale deeply, and then exhale, stretch forward to take ankles or the two fingers around the big toes. Stretch the chest forward and up, and then exhale, floating forward, wherever that is for you, where you can hold sustainably for 5 breaths. On your next in-breath, coming up, taking the hands behind you, so your fingers are pointing towards your bottom, about 10, 12 centimeters behind you. You can either have the feet here, or you can have them outstretched. See what you need when we get here. So breathe in, lift the chest, and then exhale, lift the hips. And if your legs are straight, peel the feet down towards the floor, big toes touching, big toes on the floor. Lift the chest. If your neck's okay with it, taking the neck, the throat, opening the throat, breathing. To come out, breathe in, lower the hips, gently bring the chin back towards the chest, and a little jump back, which we do between the seated forward bends. I don't know about you, but I've got a little sweat going here. So cross the legs, Plant the hands onto the floor and just give this a little go. Push through the hands. Use Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, the two lifts in the pelvis and the lower belly, and lift your bottom off the floor. And then lower. So that's an option for you to just practice that sensation of lifting your bottom off the floor using your internal strength. If you'd like to practice a little vinyasa, which we do traditionally in Ashtanga, then keep the legs crossed, plant the hands in front, and jump or step the feet back, lower down, stretch up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then come onto the toes, get nice buoyancy in the hips, the belly, pelvic floor, and jump and land cross-legged. Stretch the feet out. Janu Shirshasana, bringing the right foot into the inner thigh and stretching the left leg forward a bit. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, turn the belly over the left leg, stretch forward. So it might be a shin or the mat. Inhale, stretch the chest forward and up, and exhale, draw the lower belly in as you fold forward towards your shin, aiming to get both shoulders parallel to the mat. Inhale, come up and changing sides. Stretch the right leg forward a little bit. Turn the belly, middle of the chest forward, stretch up. And then exhale, take your spot, 5 breaths. Keep very conscious of the nice long, deep, smooth breath. Little contraction at the top of the throat. And just, it's very easy here to let the belly just plop. So see if you can gently draw the lower belly in towards the spine and slightly up. And equally lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Inhale, coming up. Take your choice of either lifting the bottom up, or if you want a little jump back, hands forward, plop back, lower down. Inhale, stretch the chest forward, and then exhale, back. Coming onto the toes, lift the bottom, jump, land lightly, and sit back. Stretch the right foot up. So there's a little gap between about a fist's worth between the inner foot and the inner thigh. Stretch this heel back towards your bottom. Marichyasana A. Flex the foot of the left leg. Stretch the right hand up. Exhale through, around. Find the other hand and see if you can touch fingertips. Grab a hand, grab a wrist, stretch the chest forward, and exhale, folding. So if the wrists don't meet, just rest them softly onto the sides of the hips. Inhale, coming up, changing sides. Left leg, heel towards the bottom, a little gap between inner thigh and inner leg. Stretch the left hand up. Exhale, send it through and wrap it around. Grab what you can, fingers, wrist or hand. Breathe in as you look up. Breathe out as you fold forward. Again, nice, solid, smooth breath. And really just starting to activate those bandhas. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, lower belly. So draw the lower belly muscles in towards the spine, slightly up towards the diaphragm, creating some tone. Inhale, release. Stretch the feet out. And again, your choice, either lifting the bottom or a little jump back. And jumping forward and taking the legs into Baddha Konasana. So join the feet together, draw the heels towards the groins, Again, you can be sitting on a blanket, and then open up the feet like you're looking at your soles of the feet. Stretch the spine up, engage through the bandhas. Nice clear breath, Ujjayi pranayama. Breathe in and breathe out, folding forward. You can use the elbows into the inner legs, have a little bit of support, and just enjoying 5 long deep breaths wherever you go. Inhale to release, taking the legs out to the side, Upavista, Konasana, and flexing the feet so they're wide but not probably as wide as you could probably go, enough that you can reach down to touch your shins, ankles, or hold the sides of the feet. Same idea with all the forward bends, is to stretch the front of the body, engage the bandhas, and then exhale, chest moves forward and down, wherever you go. 5 breaths. Inhaling, coming up, and bring the legs together. One more little jump back, so your choice to lift the bottom only or to jump back, lower down. Inhale, and exhale. Jumping forward, and coming to lie down onto your back. Bring the heels towards your bottom. Inhale, lift the hips. Walk the shoulders underneath you, clasp the hands underneath you. 5 breaths, bridge pose. After your next in-breath, slowly unravel the shoulders, release the hands and lower down through the spine very slowly. Either repeat that, or if you'd like to try a full Urdhva Dhanurasana, back bend, take the hands underneath the shoulders, nice big breath in, and then exhale, up you go. And releasing on an exhale, gently rolling down through the spine. And releasing the legs, releasing the arms just for a moment. Bending both legs in, taking a little bit of a roll up, stretching the legs out. Again, Paschimottanasana, we did this just before, sliding the flesh of the bottom out and stretching forward, so you can repeat as you did before, 2 fingers around the big toes, or you can take hands around the sides of the feet, or you can reach around and grab wrists, whatever works for you, or shins or floor, whatever is good for you. 5 long deep breaths here. Inhale, coming up, very nice. And then taking pranayama for the end. So your choice of legs, comfortable cross-legged, sitting on or off a blanket. If you are comfortable, taking one leg into a half lotus without any strain at all on either knee, but particularly the right if you've got the right on top. If you are familiar with and enjoy full lotus, then you can take the second foot up. But really, only if both knees feel good. Just an option. With the hands, you can take them behind you, just clasp the wrists, or you can take the elbows. Or if you want to try the full bound lotus, if you're in that, you can grab one foot here, lean forward, grab the other toe, stretch the chest, and then fold forward. So if you're sitting cross-legged and clasping elbows, also just bring the forehead forward towards the floor. And inhale, come up. That has to be the classic yoga all tied up in knots posture, if ever there was one. So legs, just wherever they're comfortable for you, lotus, half lotus, cross-legged. Take the backs of the wrists onto the knees, stretch the palms and the fingers out. Bring the index finger and the thumb to meet, a little circle. And just keep a bit of energy without stretching too much, just a bit of energy flow through the arms, through the fingers. Take your gaze down towards the floor and find a nice softness behind the eyes. And breathing here 5 really nice, long, deep ujjayi breaths. So a little contraction at the top of the throat, that nice little whispering sound as you breathe in, as you breathe out. And one more opportunity to become aware of Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, lower belly, Jalandhara Bandha, top of the throat. And nice focus point just on the floor in front of you without darting the eyes around. And after your next full in-breath, exhale, release wherever you are, and coming down onto the mat, down dog, lower down, stretch up. Exhale one more time, downward dog. And then lightly jumping or stepping your feet forward to the wrists and taking yourself to lie down for a very well-deserved Shavasana. Taking the legs just a bit wider than your hips, the palms facing up towards the roof, closing the eyes. And because we've been deliberately engaging a breath that is not our everyday breath, very consciously now release the top of the throat. Enjoy the freedom of the breath. Take your attention to the belly and just feel the whole belly and the whole front body rising and falling naturally as it does in time with your breath. So if you have time to stay a little longer, then just enjoy a bit of an extended Shavasana. If time is up for you, just take a few little movements through the feet, through the wrists, stretch the arms overhead. Bend the knees, roll over to the right, and come up to sit. Take the hands to the heart, and just bowing the chin inward, taking one little moment to acknowledge yourself, your practice. Namaste.